and Phil and the members show to the GMP morning show. Featured guests will come and they will blow your mind. The audience will do so in kind. The little vanity mixed with some insanity on the morning show with GMP.
Good morning, Portugal, and I'd like to welcome you to another fantastic day.
Hey, Gumpers.
Hola, bon dia, alegria. Munson here with the Good Morning Portugal show, live stream and podcast. Take a breath, take it easy, Carl. We're going to have a lovely party this morning and ease our way into Christmas because I think a few of our brethren and brothers and sisters are not feeling the May West this Christmas. It's the strangest of Christmases with people not feeling too brilliant. I don't know why I'm laughing, but we can, bring them some good cheer. Anyone on a spectrum from a touch of the old man flu right through to actually feeling quite poorly this Christmas. We are here for you this morning and will remain in some way there for you throughout the Christmas period, although this is the last live stream of the year. Here she is. Mrs. M joins me now.
Oh, there I am.
There we go. How about that?
Hello.
Do you like our nice festive backdrop for this, the last show of the year?
Oh,
Or the
yeah,
last
we
live one,
finally...
anyway?
I can't hear myself.
Why is that, I wonder? Oh, that's because your headphones are turned all the way down. Other things go on in this studio, don't they? And I don't mean of a sort of poltergeist nature or otherworldly. I mean, we both work in here and things do get changed, don't they?
Yes, they do.
Can you hear yourself now?
I can.
Can you see yourself now?
I can.
How good is this? And
how can it get any better than this?
Well, let's find out. I think this is a really a great way of helping lighten the mood. Did you ever wonder how candy canes were made?
No.
The mystery is now.
Thank you
Isn't
so
that lovely?
much.
Thank you.
That is so lovely.
Thank you,
yes.
T-Duck, for that's so sweet, isn't it? Literally. It tastes so good as well. Go on.
There's so many things I want to start with.
Oh,
but
dear.
No. I just wondered if anyone
Don't get me started.
No, don't get me started. I wondered, like every morning Carl adds in a little bit of extra percussion on the intro. And I wonder, how many people are like inwardly wincing at his timing.
It's not easy.
And I'm wondering if people actually realise that is what he does.
As much as I like a rim shot first thing in the morning, it's not easy getting the timing right with that. Wrong one. It's not easy getting the time. We've got rim shots and trombones. I don't know who programmed this thing.
Wow.
Okay. Oh, David Bantock is here. Hello, David. It's nice to see some. I was going to say unusual faces. I'm not saying you've got an unusual face, David. I'm saying you've got a very
rude.
Looking at the handsome face on LinkedIn there. I'm thinking I don't often see David here, is what I mean to say. And so glad you are, David Bantock. And Nunu's with us as well. We've got Pete.
So many people.
T-Duck,
and Pete
Anna,
is mentioning Kenny Everett, which is kind of funny.
Really? We've been talking about Kenny, haven't we, in the last few days? Yeah.
We quite like a bit of Kenny Everett. It's so naughty and wrong.
Yes.
And yet
and so much the spirit of the 70s. We were talking about we were singing along to Bohemian Rhapsody in the car, weren't we?
Yes, that's right. On my birthday.
And I think Kenny Everett had a lot to do with making that a hit. And what was that phrase I kept saying that day? And then Freddie had this idea.
Yeah.
That was the 70s, wasn't it? And then so-and-so had this idea. And people tried out their ideas with gay abandon, didn't they, in the 70s?
They sure did.
In a way they might not so much now. Mere mortals and carbs is a God Squad tip of the day today. So Coach Turner is here, as well as T-Duck with some continued excellent service to the show. Thank you so much, T-Duck.
I mean, this is a musical show. And, when we were talking about Kenny Everett and Freddie Mercury the other day.
Oh, Freddie Mercury.
And then we listened to a little bit of
Morning, Marcus.
What's his name?
Fleetwood
Mac, yeah. Another one. Elton John,
oh,
yes.
Yeah.
So like we were thinking about some of these movies that we've seen, and we've obviously watched the Fleetwood Mac docu-series type things as well. So
Ragged Man.
We were like giving our kids a bit of an unasked for sort of like musical education. But you know what? There are some really great little docu-series and things on the internet. And we watched a hilarious one a few years ago. For those of you that like the yacht rock
Oh,
genre.
yacht rock.
Rock.
Haven't enjoyed yacht rock so much in 2022. Have
Oh my goodness. Well, I have. The yacht rock genre.
Dave Cash as well. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Sorry,
anyway,
Coach
no, like,
Turner's distracted me there with Kenny and Cash.
I don't remember that. I'm a little
Dave
bit
Cash.
too
I think I
before my
got his
time.
autograph at the Capitol Tower on the Euston Road there.
Wow.
Oh, those jingles, Capital Radio. Yes. Little Nicky Horn, little Nicky Horn. Do you know what a Nicky Horn is?
I have no
I'll
idea.
explain after the show.
Okay.
Yes, a lot of them are on Boom Radio, which I enjoyed a little dalliance with, didn't I?
Yeah.
In the last couple of years, probably last year.
Yeah.
21. Boom Radio. A few of those. That spirit of the 70s radio it is alive and well on Boom Radio with Diddy David Hamilton as well. And I saw a picture of Pete Murray, who is 101 or something like that. Pete Murray, bless you.
Where are all our favourite disc jockeys now?
Well, some of them are in the recording, well, in the studio in the sky.
Yeah.
David Jacobs, hello there. As well. I was listening to a little bit of him, wasn't I? Vintage.
Thing is, we're going down a really sort of like
Jeremy
UK
Vine
route here.
Yeah, sorry. So yeah, you're
sort of excluding all of our Americans. But the yacht rock genre, if you want to like, if you're okay with a bit of swearing or a lot of
most
swearing,
of these people invented the swearing, didn't they?
Yeah. There's this hilarious like the history of yacht rock. Is that what it's called? Something like that.
Yeah.
A whole series.
I'm Hollywood Steve.
That's it. With the yacht rock with Hollywood Steve. It is
down a wrong road. Yes, lots of Michael McDonald in there as well. Yeah.
It includes so many pastiches of really great artists. It's hilarious. It's very irreverent.
Hall & Oates.
Yeah. Bit of Michael Jackson.
Kenny Loggins.
Yeah.
Kenny. Right. Great documentary, says Tito. The Wrecking Crew. Wrecking Crew. Was a loose collective, and who doesn't like a loose collective first thing in the morning of LA-based?
Just had one, haven't you?
LA-based session musicians no, it wasn't loose at all. Whose services were employed for must be those carbs. Whose services don't remember eating that. Must speak to the butcher. Give it 5 minutes. Stop. Okay, the Wrecking Crew was a loose collective of LA-based session musicians. Whose services were employed for a great number of studio recordings in the 1960s and 70s, including hundreds of top 40 hits. There you go. It's a loose collective. Right there. That's brilliant. Thank you for that. Most 70s radio stars are either Majesty's. Oh, no, we don't need to go to the dark side, Pete. They weren't all like that, were they? Amazing how many groups he helped to discover and promote. Jonathan Peel. John Peel rather than Jonathan King. Yes, I thought you were mentioning the King there. Disgraced King, you could say. Wolfman Jack in the United States as well. All right. Yes, Wolfman Jack here. Yes, what a fantastic voice. What an incredible phenomenon. Or dead. Thank you, Pete. Keeping it nice and light this morning on this special Christmas
show. Do you know what?
Show.
It's just bringing a certain level of, certain levity.
A certain levity and seriousness.
Yeah.
And everything. All of life is here, including death this morning.
Exactly.
Thank you very much. That wonderful, talking of great radio voices, Raphael de Vouria is also here. Bon dia.
Do you know what, Raphael? I'm really hoping to look, that we get to meet you in this next year.
Yeah, if he ever comes down from northern
or if we
Portugal,
go up.
Now, talking of northern Portugal, I wonder if this will play for you. Can I play GIFs on this?
Think we're about to find out.
We are about to find out live if I can play a GIF or not. But up in the north, thank you. Whoa. These couple of things here from the wonderful Bob Wenger, the Wenger boys, or the Wenger boy and girl, Bob and Viv, who I'm some way into getting them to talking about sex over 60. An error occurred. That GIF is not going to work. Nearly called it a GIMP. That GIF is not going to work. But this is him. The GIF was of the water that Bob is talking about in this.
Well, it's still the 20th of December, and I'm just giving an overview of downtown, and behind me are cars on a sidewalk, because that is the river in the parking lot. So here you're getting basically a 360 degree of Ponte de Lima.
Well, and who doesn't like a 360 degree flood in there?
Absolutely.
Wow.
That's incredible, isn't it? Frank is going to be joining us, but I've neglected to send him the link. How unprofessional of me. He sent me a screenshot of how far he's got to. and he's ended up in somewhere in the back end of the Google Drive. I don't know how that would have happened.
Oh, it might. Do you know what?
Oh, I sent him.
You sent him my client's link.
But I can confirm with you now that Google security
Does work
for us. I mean, Google can
Thank
look at whatever they
goodness.
want and probably do. However, he request sent, so he has not been able to penetrate your back end.
Well, I'm very pleased he didn't penetrate my back end. That would be really horrible.
What did you think you were pressing there? Is that the
The
sound?
usual
is that-
trombone sound.
Is that
What
the
did
sound
you
that plays
do?
when your back end gets penetrated? The national anthem.
Stop!
Stand up and salute.
Stop it!
Bom bom bom.
I think we're a little bit too giggly because we're actually getting the other side of this cold now.
Yes.
Have you
Do
tried your
think so?
vinegar?
I haven't tried.
I
my
want to see your
vinegar.
vinegar face.
No.
'Cause
Is it
mine's
strong?
like-
It's pretty strong. Isn't it?
I halved the dose for
Well,
you.
there's
But
not too many jockeys riding discs. Yeah, they have to be helped into the studio with a Zimmer frame. I think jockey is probably not quite the right word for them anymore, is it? They're not rearing up on white stallions anymore. They are shuffling in their slippers, aren't
oh,
they?
bless him.
Oh, yes, absolutely. And that's what I would like to die behind the microphone if I get a choice in the matter.
Well, I was saying to Gary and Linda a couple of nights ago that when Carl's doing his shows, like before I was joining him a lot, on these shows at this time, there would be these moments where it would be really, really quiet and I couldn't hear him talking. And I would just be thinking he'd actually died, and I'd rush up to see if he was okay.
Someone would WhatsApp you, wouldn't they? You need to check.
Well,
on
I've
Carl.
always thought that, in my head, like
That's the beauty of live streaming.
I'm not fantasizing about your passing away, obviously.
Clearly you are.
But I don't know. There's probably people that are listening that do have that kind of morbid fascination, or like this mind that goes a little bit cray cray. And all sorts of possibilities play out all the time in my mind. And
fertile imagination.
yeah, and so like when it goes really quiet in the office, I think, oh my god, he's like collapsed. Like people have watched him.
That message, wouldn't they?
And yes, and that's why I realised. But I don't use WhatsApp.
I dive behind the microphone quite regularly. Bloody cheek.
That is excellent. Well done. Nice one.
Yeah.
Where's your boom?
I'm practicing.
Where's your boom tish
No, he doesn't
sound?
get one of those for that. He gets a booing or something like that.
We need to get
That's
a public boo
awful,
button, don't we?
honestly.
I love
Yeah.
that. Well done,
Yeah.
Ian. Thank you.
He's got his own jingle. Remember, we haven't played this for a while.
Yeah.
Darth Vader of the fitness world. Honestly, harsh butt. What? Oh yes, happy Christmas, everybody. I'm going.
The funny thing is,
Not like that.
yeah, I mean, the thing is, if people were going to WhatsApp me, you could be dead for hours before I'd even check it. I don't check WhatsApp. So like, if ever Carl does do that, can you send me a messenger? That's probably
Do we
the
need to
easiest
set up
way.
a telephone tree special system?
Yeah,
Or
maybe.
maybe have some priority phone numbers.
Yeah, and maybe
Yeah,
we
and
should.
please, I mean, don't if it's just
And call the ambulance as well.
but not
then
if
they'll-
it's just an awkward moment.
they'll
Like
just
Carl's
bust-
died behind a microphone again. Not if it's just an embarrassing and terrible moment of broadcasting.
No,
like
I mean,
the
like
real
if he
thing, the real
collapses
thing.
on air,
Yeah.
can
This
you
is such
call?
a cheerful start to the
Can
show?
you call the medics? And the
112.
first thing I'll find out about it is
Oh,
when they
that's
come
not fair
busting
to-
through the door.
That's
and
not
I'm
fair
like,
to
what the hell are
them.
you doing
That's
here?
not fair to them, is it?
What?
Ringing 112 and saying there is a guy in San Martino de Porto in a live stream studio and you need to get to his house now. They're going to think they're being pranked,
Mm.
aren't they? And it's all of that will happen on a live stream as well. No, we can't have that.
Okay, so we need to think about another way of
Exit strategy,
Yeah,
literally.
yeah.
Just had a vision.
I've never said that to you.
What?
My fears.
Really? Well, we talk about it.
Yeah, happy Christmas, by the way,
let's look
everyone.
yeah, thank you. More dirty linen being the dirtiest of linens being washed in public this morning. If you have a look on the screen, it's we've got our own wheel of life with the work we do with people moving to Portugal. And if you see there that life and death is a nettle we want to grasp, because
Yeah.
the formalities of dying in Portugal are different to what you might be used to, and it's worth having conversations as we are out in public,
Yeah.
alongside wealth, well-being, community purpose, and love and sex. Going back to sex over 60.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, can we have some sex before 60 as well?
Yes, you can.
I think that's
I can
worth doing, isn't it?
gladly oblige with that request. Sex over 60 might be the Santa syndrome, won't it? Coming once a year, maybe. I don't know. We'll find out when we
I
talk.
doubt it.
Let's hope not. We will talk to Bob and Viv about that. The lady of the house seems far more ready to talk about it than the gentleman as we stand. But I will bring to you a fabulous
I
presentation.
can't wait
on
till
that subject.
Bob and Viv are talking about it.
Look, we're still talking about me dying, I think, here. Don't worry, Louisa. He looks like he has nearly half a decade left in the old dog yet. Sure, he would live longer with a comb over. Is that all? I've got to say, Pete, they do have a comb over, but it's woven into a syrup. It seems to be the standard issue of 70s British DJs is to have a toupee.
Yes,
now, why you would need a toupee while you're in a radio studio is beyond me.
Do you know? I don't know, but maybe
do they take it off while they're broadcasting and just put it by the side of the mixing desk?
Underneath there.
My gerbil. Sorry. Or my hamster.
Look, Frank's joining the conversation.
Frank needs to be here right now to give me some moral support. Nice round of applause. He's looking like a 70s DJ.
He is
Check
actually.
him out. Good morning to
Nice
you,
fans.
Frank.
Good morning to you. How you doing?
Really good. All the better for seeing you with your lovely big microphone cover there. You've got all the gear there, haven't you?
Yeah. Someone convinced me as a professional guy.
You sound
Do
great.
you know what?
He sounds great.
You look like you've been
great,
down the
sounds
track
great.
having a good old run as well.
Yes.
Well, you've run back from Europe, have you not, Frank? You've been into the far corners of Europe. Our conversations, I've got to tell you, Frank, and thank you for being here. Boas festas to you, my friend. Thank you for being here on this special morning with us on the Good Morning Portugal show. We'll be joined by Emma Belterson. We'll have a good old sing-song in the from the Algarve, the epicenter of entertainment. What are you laughing at? Is there more?
Pete's latest. We were just talking about wigs and toupees and comb overs.
Undetectable. One of the best we've seen, right? Hold on a minute. I've just got to adjust my bits of hair.
The one we just got from Frank.
I was trying to be serious for a moment because through the whole World Cup effort and Frank's friendship and counselling at times in what the Qatari World Cup brought to my Western mindset, and then your travels around as well. And I was hoping you might still be in Istanbul and reporting live. But you and I need
like
to go there together.
Reporter on the ground.
But my entire perception of Europe has been changed in these last 4 weeks because of the Qatari World Cup and because of some of the conversations we've had, Frank. So thank you very much. How has it been for you?
It's been very, very good. It's been a very, very refreshing time. And even while we were having those conversations, and I appreciate the compliment, while we were having those conversations, I was thinking how the world changes and how we in the West perceive that everything that we do is perfect and nothing wrong comes out of here.
Yes.
And
when you go comes out of here.
And when you go to those parts, you kind of look at those folks, and it's the combination of generosity and people being very, very humble, because they see all these shenanigans. They see and they hear everything that is going on over here, and they hear what's coming from this side. And one of my most favorite questions was, I was sitting in a bar, as you do,
no.
I was having this conversation with this dude, and he goes, "Why so angry?" And I didn't understand what that means. And he goes to me, "Why are Westerners so angry?" You know, what we actually believe is that peace and calm that we enjoy over here, and how serene we are. It's actually the other way around, where people over there actually think this way around is more chaotic and crazy than their lifestyles.
Yeah.
And it's talking to people, you get kind of a reference. I'm like sitting over there in Dubai, and I was around the marina and walking around, and people are wearing regular clothing as you do at the beach and whatever. It's not a resort; it's a normal town and whatever. And what we've been told about the Muslim world, and especially the Middle East. Yes. Might as well just hack into this now, right?
Yeah, let's do it.
What we've been told about the Middle East and of all this nonsense. Yeah, you're not allowed to carry an open beer or liquor around with you. But the thing is, people are roaming around like normal everywhere else. However, they've got their rules, they've got their laws, and all they're saying is just respect it. And then crazy Westerners, or Europeans, I might say, go over there and start saying, well, how come you don't do that over there? How come I cannot have this freedom? And what they're saying, no. This is freedom for us. This is what we do. You are over here as a guest. I'm allowing you in my house. Why are you trying to determine how things should be in my house? If you don't like it, because I'm not forcing you. First flight back on your plane, go back to where you are and have things stolen. I left my phone around the marina somewhere at a bar, and it was just like sitting over there. And half an hour, 45 minutes later, when I came back, it was still sitting there.
Beautiful.
And tell me if this can happen in London. Tell me if this can happen in many places around the world. Toronto, New York, anywhere. What we've become is, as a society in the West, we've become a bunch of thugs. And what we do is we threaten people. We are angry at people. We point fingers. We do virtue signaling. We do all this kind of nonsense.
Well said.
Without thinking for a second that they are also living their lives. They're living very good lives. I sent you some pictures. It's the epitome of luxury, epitome of they're eating great, much better food than us. They are having much better times than us without spending as much. What are we doing wrong over here? This is what we should be looking at.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, well said. Nice one, Frank.
I love that.
Mic drop. Mic drop moment there. I agree. And these are the sorts of conversations we've been having. Nowhere is perfect. And the view I've certainly I've been letting go of is this sort of condescension and patronizing view that I was brought up with and indoctrinated with as a Westerner. It has to be said. So nowhere's perfect. We're certainly not. And we don't really have the right to be chucking stones in the glass house in which we live.
I completely agree with that.
So thank you, Frank, for what's
now speak for yourself. Some of us are okay, you know.
Well, true, that's true. Yes, but yeah, I suppose it's fair to say you've had the best of both worlds, right? And you have a unique and very special perspective which you've shared with me.
Yes, and this was like going to the Middle East and then going to a place like Turkey, Istanbul, especially, where it's crazy and it's mad, but it's just the generosity of people. Yes, it's crazy. It's just like going to be like any other place. However, you will have. What I loved, the best scene was that I'm sitting at yet another pub because you asked me to go there. I'm sitting at a pub doing research, as you do, and while you're having a beer, there is the Muslim call to prayer. You know, like the azan. It's going on, and there's rock and roll music playing inside. So the combination of both, as you can imagine, it's tolerance. It's the epitome of tolerance. It's the epitome of freedom. That's what when I look at that, when I think about those kinds of things, we go, is this where we are? Or do we really consider ourselves to be tolerant and managing our lives this way? Live and let live kind of deal. You know, that doesn't happen.
Which you could say. I mean, I quipped yesterday, didn't I? The best of European values, you might say, are live and let live. Let's use them. So this is what humans do in both directions. Of course,
I really love that.
That's a good point, isn't it? What's that?
That's just like spot on. You know, this is what we do.
Yeah, both ways.
We're
also
not
idolizing
like multi-directions, not just in like east-west, but it's like male-female. It's just we're always judging each other.
And owning that, it would be such a good thing, would it not?
It would be helpful,
as I think we're beginning to do here. So,
do you know what? You're right. I mean, when I was living in Bali, did I mention I lived in Bali?
Does everyone know that now? Here,
I think so. Yeah. Okay, I lived on this compound with a Balinese family, and they, they have these lovely compounds, with like quite a few houses on, and they get passed down generation to generation, and multiple parts of the family live on it at the same time. And they'd rented out one of their like homes to me, I found out like how much they earned a day and how much they earned a month and this, that, and the other. And I was really shocked to discover that what I was earning in a day was actually what the whole household brought home in a month. Really like humbled by that. But the thing that I couldn't really not get my head around was the fact that they felt sorry for us.
Yes.
But actually, I learned a lot from them. The way we parent actually comes from my experiences in Bali. Like, they all pretty much shared like one bedroom. They are really immersive. Their kids are held pretty much until they're about 3 or 4, and the kids just get passed around. They're not put down. They're always elevated because they're seen as little princes or little gods.
Yeah.
They're looked after. And they would invite me to come and eat with them, and they would produce this amazing food out of nowhere, and they would be sitting on their backside, like on these like little tin cans, sometimes cooking over a little stove, like cooking really hard and like working beautifully for me, so that I could have some of their food. And it was just, I felt so awkward to have so much more and expect so much more, and yet these guys were just sharing everything. I learned so much. It was
I think a few
just one of the
people
most humbling experiences I've had.
Well said. Well said.
And their love for everyone as well, and they're very non-judgmental. I mean, obviously there's problems wherever you go. There are darknesses as well. Like, I heard about a lot of familial violence. Like between men and women. If it gets a bit sort of hands-on, and you come across domestic violence across, in all parts of the world, with all levels of money. But I learned a lot about kindness that year.
Wowzers. And I think a lot of other people
Really,
here who
truly
are
did.
travelers, right, who have experienced these sorts of mind-changing, heart-opening moments around the world. The beauty of travel, you might say.
You've got to travel.
Every country I've gone to.
Yeah, so it's been amazing for you then, Frank. The other thing, whilst we're on a serious note, we've gone from me dying in front of the microphone to East-West relationships, domestic violence. All of life is here this morning.
Yes, it really is.
And we will be parting with Emma soon. But on a last note, something that really has influenced and struck me is this, the idea of Europe, the very idea of Europe. And another thing I've been brought up with is the European Union appearing to be Europe. And I've been it inspired me to go find out more about Europe and the vastness that it is and the diversity that it is beyond that political and economic machine that we have become accustomed to. And where you were, look, it's your mate Sol, Frank, Sol, Frank. Look.
Hey, how you doing, buddy?
There he is. Oh, he's pleased to see you there. Fantastic. Yeah, Europe is more, is it not, than the 27 member states? And there's also a little bit of that sort of cultural posturing going on, isn't there? It's like you can't join us until you change your ways, etc., etc. And arguably you could say some of those ways might be changed for the benefit of humankind, but it's just not as simple as that, is it?
It's not only as simple as that. What it is it's the intricacies. It's what is involved in not just political. It's the phobias that the West has against certain countries. I, for one, don't understand why a country like Turkey is not in the European Union with all of its infrastructure, with everything that is going on. Well, I know why it's not there, because it's a Muslim country and everybody looks like me. So like it's so it's pretty much that is the deal. And when you think about the European Union and you think about how they operate, it's this really like on a different kind of level. It's veiled racism, veiled prejudice that we show against. And I'm not a European. I'm a North American. However, I'm talking as the Western world, that we show towards these other countries, because as soon as someone has an accent, American accent, Canadian accent, or British accent, that person immediately goes in front of the line. And if somebody is like, okay, bring me a cup of tea, that guy's having this kind of conversation, immediately that guy becomes the bad guy. Literally, this is what's been happening. If you go and have a look at some of the movies that we're producing right now, you go and have a look at how our culture is being shifted from underneath just by us watching. Sometimes I will watch something and I'll be like, oh, great. Look at this guy, this Middle Eastern guy. Now he's going to blow this thing up. And most of the time, the way that they portray certain backgrounds even me looking at it as a half Middle Eastern person, I sometimes go, wow. You have to sit back and look and say to yourself how our minds are, the hate is being cultivated in our minds, how we are being brainwashed by certain individuals in the society. And this is not like, these theories are not like whatever. This is actually happening. If you go and look at half of the Netflix movies that are out there, who's the bad guy? It's either a Russian guy, it's either a Middle Eastern guy, it's either a guy from Kazakhstan, and people make fun of their countries and whatever. Once you go over there, as a matter of fact, as soon as they see someone from those countries who's producing these kinds of movies, they should actually never even, right at the airport, they should never let you in. They should be like, you produce this kind of propaganda against us. We don't want you in the country. However, they're generous. They let you in. They ask you questions.
And we can see the funny side, right? And we can see the funny side too. Yeah. But it's all about balance, this, isn't it? Absolutely. And you're right, Marcus. Of course, you wouldn't want to set foot in any country that would like to see you dead for being me or for your sexuality. Of course not. And it's a much, as I hope we'll find, it's a much more nuanced conversation.
But who said that they want to see you dead? Your media said that. Have you been there? Have you traveled there?
That's an interesting point. That is an interesting point, which I'm
Who
sure.
said they want you dead? They don't want you dead. Who told you that? Have you been there to that country? Have you stepped foot over there for someone to threaten you or threaten your life? No, that has not happened, my friend.
Good point,
so,
Frank.
Without making these kinds of comments, first travel, go and see these countries, and then let's make a comment.
All right. Well, maybe we can facilitate that. I have an idea for the new year, which I hope will facilitate all of this and make it more positive for us all. Hold on. There's a message from Sol. Did you want to speak to Uncle Frank?
I love
Come on.
Frank.
I love you, Frank.
Hey, buddy. How's it going? I love you too. What's going on? Give me one of your classic lines.
Come on, Sol.
Give me one of those. Give me one of those lines. I hate you all.
It can turn to that.
In the middle of the restaurant, by the way, I want everyone to know what Sol did. Well, this is classic Sol. In the middle of the restaurant, he's sitting over here having an ice cream, and he's kind of not having his way. And then he looks at all the adults and the two kids, and he says, "I hate you all. I don't want to talk to any of you." And he starts looking at the wall. I'm like, this kid is a rock star.
Self-expressed.
Didn't he also try and poke an old woman up the backside?
Yes.
The lolly stick.
We were all together for that.
And unfortunately, Carl stopped it. I was like, "Oh, do it! Oh, do it, you!" He had the umbrella. He had like the end of the umbrella, and he was going to do something very, very interesting. And Carl was just like, "Stop it, Sol!" And the kid looks at him, and he looks at me, and I was just like, "Come on, kid, go for it." But
it was a reflex reaction. You were next to the. Oh, I was thinking of you, Frank. You were next to the old lady. She might have thought it was you poking her bottom with a plastic.
Very likely, I would have gladly taken a smack from her. Not a problem. I've been smacked before.
All right, we are moving back towards the levity. Totally hear you as well, Marcus. Not moving on to close you down or close this discussion down. It will continue, and I hear you, my friend. And this will continue. I'm hoping we can be in what makes this world a better place by having conversations of this kind. And we totally hear you. That's how this environment, this community is, to include and to discuss things and to challenge things as well. We are 5 minutes past 9. We have been quite rude to our wonderful VIP guest, who is tuning up, and
she's looking beautiful as well.
She is looking very beautiful, isn't she?
Yeah.
Occasionally obscured by something furry, though, on the screen. Let's bring her on now. Good morning to you, Emma.
Morning.
Good morning, Emma.
How is your?
Honestly, she only comes next to me now when she knows I'm on the phone. She's sat to the left, just off camera, just waiting for the opportunity when I'm not paying attention to her. Like, honestly, any second now it's going to happen.
I can't wait for her to do that. What's her name again?
Bluebell.
Bluebell.
I've got my tea towel ready for that moment.
She's sniffing the guitar now. Look, she's preparing. She's preparing. I'm watching her. Hi, Uncle Frank. How you doing?
How you doing?
Frank. His name, #Uncle Frank, known across the Algarve as Uncle Frank. You're in the Algarve as well, of course, Emma. How are you? How is it down there this morning? Very mild for the time of year.
This morning. It's really cold here this morning.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Mild.
Where are you in the Algarve?
I'm not far from Lagoa. Lagoa, not
Okay,
Lagos.
so you're very close to me. I'm in Portimao.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. So are you cold? Is
Yeah.
it cold in Portimao? Because it's cold here. I think it's because it's so damp, isn't it? So it's a bit chilly.
It's damp. It's kind of chilly, but give it a week or two, and it'll be all
It'll be all
back,
right.
back to
It could
normal.
be worse. We could be in Scotland.
Regular transmission.
Could be freezing.
So good to have you here, Emma, and so kind of you as well to sing Christmas songs this morning. I think you found a couple of those for us today. Let's catch up with everybody and welcome everyone who's joined us for this Christmas special this morning. We have talked about some serious things, and we are in a buoyant mood as well. Bon dia from Coach Turner. Bon dia todos. Hope you have a wonderful Christmas and Happy New Year. Yes, let's get in their mood with all these wonderful greetings from our fabulous friends. Bon dia, Alegria Gumpers, as well from T-Duck too. Producer T-Duck. The cat's coming on any minute. Deep Thought 1 then at Christmas time. A lovely thing about Christmas is that it's compulsory, like a thunderstorm, and we all go through it together. Garrison Keillor, who was Gary Garrison Keillor, an American author, singer, humorist, voice actor, and radio personality. Was he the one who did that fantastic, not Home on the Range, but that lovely variety show? Was that Garrison Keillor there? I loved finding out about that earlier this year. Deep Thought 2, aren't we forgetting the true meaning of Christmas? You know, the birth of Santa. Thank you for that, Matt. Yes, we nearly forgot, didn't we?
Yeah.
And of course, yes, if you're familiar with that name, it will be because you've watched The Simpsons. American cartoonist, writer, producer, and animator. Perhaps The Simpsons, the most famous of his works. Portuguese sayings then, Christmas themed, of course. Great job on these, T-Duck. Boas festas com muita paz, amor e alegria. Happy holiday, much peace, love, and joy. There we go.
Is Emma's mum watching? Maria Williamson, is that your mummy?
Yeah, that's my mum. Is she watching?
She's watching. Yeah, she's saying good morning to you all from Emma's
mum.
There you go. Lovely picture of Bluebell and Emma for you there.
Emma's mum.
Oh, that's fantastic. And I will name check a few more. We'll come back to the dad jokes later on, which are also Christmas themed. Very good, or at least one of them is there. Who else have we got here? Oh, God Squad tip of the day. Then let's do this. Athletes are generally careful about what they eat. For them, it's fuel with carbohydrates making up 40 to 60% of their intake. Fats about 25, 10% bad fats. Let's stop calling them that, and the remainder protein. There. So us mere mortals don't need such a high percentage of carbs unless we're very active or would like to build a Santa belly. Who maybe you do. A good mixture of foods of different types and colors will go a long way to improving. Yes, a rainbow on the plate. Pete was in early, hoping that all those suffering from flu and COVID recover quickly. Yes. I know an extraordinary amount of people who are not feeling so great in this particular, more so than during the pandemic, funnily enough. So lots of love to you if you're not feeling very well. Shout out to Tech Cowboy and Crypto Big Boy Pants as well. We haven't seen for a while here from Pete as well. Nunu, our dear friend Nunu. Good morning, everyone. And he's deeply warm Christmas. Isn't that lovely?
Talking about deep, didn't Nunu get deep into the water?
I have got video of him in his scouting outfit, which always puts lead in my pencil, I have to say. Falling into a river.
Status.
He wet his pants, but not in the traditional way.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're such
you can't sit there.
He can't she sit there? She's not going to get the vibes of the guitar if she sits there, right?
I can't play the guitar if she sits there.
All right. I'll fill for you until she moves on. Okay. Okay. Deagle nipped the top off his thumb off yesterday. Well, that's a manly accident, I've got to say. Bon dia, Carl and Gumpers, Belfast.
Christmas.
They're cutting wood with an axe.
Ouch.
Nipped the top of. I mean, you were kind of lucky, really, weren't you? Wielding an axe and only to take the top of the thumb off. Still damn sore and throbbing all night. He's talking about the thumb there. And remember, hit that thumb button and not just with an axe. Deagle, hope you're okay. Maybe you can use some of the sweepstake money to, I don't know, buy some gloves or safety gear or something like that.
Or some aloe vera. How have you sorted it out? Did you go to hospital? Have you had stitches?
He's known at the hospital. He would have got good service, I think. Un forte abrazo, strong, big hug to you and the family, and I'll extend that to all the Gumpers, Nuno. Thank you so much for being such a good pal throughout the year to so many in this community, professionally and personally. Bye, Randy. Bon dia, bon fin de semana, e Feliz Natal, one and all from glorious Bairrada. Ho, ho, ho. tried to do that in a Portuguese accent. Not sure that worked. Feliz Natal para todos from Anna as well. Perhaps in Sweden at the moment. Shocked how much blood a thumb has. I don't know why I'm laughing. Deagle, be careful.
Yeah.
Tried to change my name to Don't Forget Your Slug Christmas Tree Ornament to match my profile pic today. There it is, a golden slug Christmas tree ornament. But YouTube wouldn't let me for 2 more days. Google, what are you like? David Bantok, we said hello to as well. And yeah, I think he's forgiven me for saying there were unusual faces in the room when I saw him this morning. Baddies here. Feliz Natal, looking forward to listening in today. That's for you, I suspect, Emma. Thank you for all the shows and all the effort for all this year. Bush Festish, everybody. Thank you so much, buddy.
Excuse me.
Part of this community. Santinas, to you. Saud, Emma. What do you say in Scotland when somebody sneezes?
Carl, do you when you're like, do you talk like an old Portuguese grandma? Like your voice went up an octave.
Santinas.
Yeah, and sold like
Sold.
you were some.
Yes, I do talk like an old Portuguese grandma. Yes. What's wrong
Why
with
is
that?
One of those fish ladies in the Porto Fish Market.
Oh, I gave her a hug. I gave her a hug. She manhandled me towards her wares again, Frank, when I was in the market the other day. And I said, look, no. And I just hugged her. And she let me go on that. Okay, maybe that's what she's.
No, it's that hug is just one payment for this time. Next time you come by, and you know the same way you slide out of the place by just looking at her from far and just going, I gotta go.
Yes, yeah, that's right. That gesture. Oh, I've set a precedent now, haven't I?
Yes, you have.
What do you say in Scotland when someone sneezes, Emma?
Bless you. You just say bless you. Do you think there's some sort of Scottish word for it? Like, and to be honest, there probably is some sort of traditional Scottish word that I'm not aware of. Yes. I don't speak. God, I can't remember the name of the language now. I'm on the spot. What's the freaking name of the traditional Scottish language? And all my friends from Scotland are shouting at the camera right now because I can't remember.
Gaelic or Celtic, right?
That's the one. Thank you, Carol. You got it there. Yeah, I'm sure there's Gaelic.
Carl, what were you thinking? They like kind of wave a kilt around and kind of go on then.
Yes, actually. You can blow your nose. You can blow your nose on my sporran at any time. I'm hoping it's something like that, or achwisht. But that sounds like a sneeze in its own right, doesn't it? Achwisht. That means shut up.
Achwisht just tells somebody to be quiet, though. Hajirwish just like stop talking.
Yeah.
Isn't that German? Oh, okay.
Achwisht. It does sound German, doesn't it? Achwisht. Okay. Raphael, we said hello to earlier on, and Paul Richards is in from the Algarve as well. Looking better now with your man flu. Oh, thank you for your concern last night, Paul. Keep taking the love tablets. I certainly will, my friend. Are you on a double dose yourself? And Raphael does want us to make our way up north. Okay, and that is unforgivable. That comment. I die behind the microphone quite regularly, Coach Turner. But you're still welcome. Thank you, Coach Turner, for all your fantastic service as well throughout 2022. If I've missed you so far, forgive me. And actually, here's a man we can't miss. Joel, how about this, Frank?
Oh, sure. He's up this early.
Yeah.
Wow.
Bush Festus to you, Joel. Good morning to you. Prairie Home Companion. That's Garrison Keeler, isn't it? We must do our own version of that at some point. Hello to you, Victoria. Good morning in the Algarve as well. And good morning to you all from Emma's mum, from Maria as well. Did you say Tenerife, Emma?
Yeah, she's in Tenerife. Aye. Cozy, sunshine for Christmas and New Year.
Oh, fabulous.
Right.
Good life. Good life.
The Garve as well. Look, happy Christmas, all you lovely global gumpers.
Hey,
wishing you all love, health, and great times ahead. Cheers, mate.
What a lovely community you've got, haven't you?
Fabulous. Hey? Absolutely, and you're about to tickle their and tug their heartstrings with some Christmas music. We're so glad you're here this morning, Emma.
It's all double entendres the day, Carol, is it?
There wasn't even a double entendre there, tickling heartstrings. But we should.
Yeah.
No, she was talking about the tugging bit.
All right, let's move on. Yes. The tugging bit. Who doesn't love the tugging bit?
You.
All right, Emma. There's a funny thing that happens when you perform for us. I put you on full screen so people can enjoy it. And to you, you might think we've all sort of ghosted on you. We are here enjoying it, but we want to give you full screen. It's not right that we be here while you perform. We're not worthy to be on the same screen as you while you're singing. So would you like to take it away with the first tune for us?
Okay, so what I've done is I've put together some Christmas songs for you. Now, I'm doing my own spin on them because I'm a bit of a fan of reggae, right? So I'm going to do all my Christmas songs in a reggae style, right?
Ooh.
A wee bit different. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, Emma Belter, everybody, take it away.
You better watch out, you better not cry, you better not pout, I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. He's making a wish, he's checking it twice, he's gonna find out who's naughty and nice. Santa Claus is coming to town. He sees you when you're sleeping, he knows when you're awake, he knows if you've been bad or good, so be good for goodness sake. You better watch out, you better not cry, you better not pout, I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. Alright, you're Rastafari. He sees you when you're sleeping, he knows when you're awake, he knows if you've been bad or good, so be good for goodness sake. You better watch out, you better not cry, you better not pout, I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming to town.
Oh, yes. Wow.
Come on, just
Excellent.
Superb. Look at this. Such a voice has Emma, says Deagle in Belfast this morning. Superb. Cracking start there, Emma. Buy this woman a drink, if you will. PayPal.me.
Oh, yeah, please, that would be magic.
/ Emma Belter. And a turkey while you're about it. Certainly a drink this Christmas. You sing for your supper, literally, don't you? You are a performer, a great artist.
This is it. This is all I do.
Yep.
Yeah.
So please, folks, if you're enjoying this morning, buy Emma a drink. Maybe the whole turkey, the whole Christmas dinner on that PayPal link there, and I will put that up later on as well. Where are you performing over Christmas, Emma? In the Algarve?
To be honest, the Christmas is quite quiet for me, but I've got a concert on the 30th up in Monchique.
Okay.
A place called Velo Chic in Monchique, and then January things are starting to trickle back in. But really, things are more seasonal down here in the Algarve. Like when the season starts, the concerts start. When the people come, the gigs start. So March will really kick off, but until then, it can be quite slow.
Yes.
And just you kind of you make hay while the sun shines in the summer, and then the winter's a bit quieter. That's kind of how it seems to work here.
I didn't realize that. Well, and that can change, of course, can't it? Because hopefully, those Algarve folks, you might get invited to a few of these celebrity Christmas parties to perform as well.
That would be magic. I'd love that. That would be great.
Yep. What's this? Replay has become my way for now. That's Suze. You're in for a treat later on, Suze. Off to bed now in Vancouver. So you'll be rocking along with the replay there. I tuned in to talk to the doc about my piles. What a great singer, says Mark Vandery. No, wrong day, Mark. And what a lovely surprise for you. A bit of musical.
The musical cure your piles. Just put your butt up to the camera, and the sound waves will cure the piles.
We'll send you the
vibrations.
Do you know what? That your butt healing vibration therapy.
Best review ever.
That actually could be a money spinner, Emma.
This woman healed my butt.
I've just created a whole new genre. Butt healing music.
Channel for you, literally for like butt healing. Because like Bluebell does it, doesn't she? She puts her butt up to the camera.
There was a clue all along.
Yeah, she's been giving you the clues.
Okay, so which would be the ultimate songs to cover whilst doing pile healing? I
Highly healing.
wonder. We're going to get to the bottom of
Something,
this
something
morning.
about like letting it all go and
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll let our wonderful
going
girl.
with
Maybe that one about the bum.
Queen to the Stone Age.
I think Emma
Shake
had
your
one.
ass. Watch yourself. This one. Shake your ass. Watch
Yes.
yourself. That's one of them. Isn't it?
What? That's what. That's so. Mark is it's a miracle at Christmas time. Well done, Mark. Emma, back to you then.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay,
guessing
okay.
you might have 3 songs for us this morning.
I've got 3. Yeah.
I don't know if you want to medley. Sometimes you do that, don't you? With the next couple, it's up to you.
Yes, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah.
We are hanging on your every sung word here.
Okay.
So back to you. Thank you so much. Mark's ready with his trousers down. Okay.
Wow.
There's a vision for when you're playing a Christmas song. I'll tell you that.
Sorry, I didn't mean to say that out loud.
This morning, I'll tell. I didn't expect that. This one's Mum. This one's for you, Mum.
Oh.
Da, 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 da. Da, da. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the ones I used to know, where the treetops glisten and children listen to hear sleigh bells in the snow. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, with every Christmas card I write. May your day be merry and bright, and may all your Christmases be white. Do 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 I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, with every Christmas card I write. May your day be merry and bright, and may all your Christmases be white. One more time. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the ones I used to know, where the treetops glisten and children listen to hear sleigh bells in the snow. You know that I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, with every Christmas card I write. May your day be merry and bright, and may all your Christmases be white. Easy singing this time in the morning, I'll tell you.
Look at this great singing, Emma. Thank you from Peter there.
That's what I was going to say, Emma. Great singing this early in the morning, man. You're cranking it early in the morning in this kind of chilly weather.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's
Beautiful.
not easy.
Thank you.
Thank you for that, Uncle Frank. I appreciate that. Thank you.
I love how you call him Uncle Frank. And every time you come and perform, I cry at some point,
Yeah.
and this was the moment when your
Oh,
mum said,
really?
"Thank you, Mum."
Oh, Carol, do it.
Oh,
Oh, bless you. You're so sweet, darling.
That Scottish folk song you did last time, I was gone, totally
Oh,
gone.
yeah.
That's the real reason why I have to give you the whole screen so that I can weep whilst you're. and then pull myself together by the time we're back on the screen.
You're not fooling anyone, Carl.
I'm not.
Everyone
am I?
knows. Everyone knows.
This Carlito, he's a crier, this one.
He's a crier.
That's a beautiful thing. That is a beautiful thing.
You can see how glistening your eyes are.
My eyes are glistening like those, like those, like the snow, and as mentioned in the song there, the treetops are glistening just like my teardrops. Does Emma have a set place to play in the Algarve in March or April and October? Adiga wants to organise his visits to the Algarve to fit in with your schedule.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah,
possible?
I do. I usually always play in Amistad de Pera. I've always got a regular gig there at a little place called Pera Bistro, which is a lovely place there.
Okay,
I mean, we play there all the time. That's an absolute set. So yes,
Oh,
Pera
excellent.
Bistro, Amistad de Pera.
Pera Bistro, Amistad de Pera there. Emma, you're great, says Nuno Muniz Mendes there. The
Thank you.
official validation from Winsurance
Yes.
there. How about a little Winsurance sticker on the guitar? A little sponsorship opportunity there, Nuno? That's only going to cost you about €5,000 a year, I think.
Yeah, about that. Just send it and I can stick it here. There's a space here. Maybe here.
That is ideal, isn't it? 20%, Emma? Okay. Just have to ask, because we can't quite see, what is the tattoo on your chin and what significance does it have to you, if not too personal? Nicely put.
Everybody asks about that one, and I always forget about that because it's under my chin. It's a little Indian flower. My brain isn't working properly this morning. The national flower of India.
Okay.
The one that oh God, I forgot the name of it. My brain isn't working. I'm too busy focusing on what I've got to do with the guitar.
We have a group mind here. Somebody will answer that question within
Ask
seconds.
me any more questions, and I'm like, oh wait, it doesn't work. It's not working.
No, I noticed as well.
I wondered if you'd had a healing tattoo here to help ease your voice and to honor your voice.
That's a good
Do you know,
idea.
maybe that's why I did it when I never actually thought about it. It was actually my best friend. She's got a forget-me-not there, right? And I just loved it. Every time I looked at it, I was like, oh, I'm going to copy it. So I went and got the Indian flower, the same. I just copied my best friend. It's not a spiritual thing. But so many people ask me about it. But I forget it's there because it's kind of under here. I forget about it completely. But I suppose it does kind of replicate the throat. It's close to the throat chakra.
Indeed.
But it's not really on it. But it was the weirdest thing getting tattooed there because you have to lie with your head completely back. And it's like your brain rattles. It's a weird experience. Getting your chin tattooed.
I can't imagine I could do that.
No, there's a lot of trust in the artist's hands there.
Yeah.
Hey, look at this, Emma. Emma, we never know what comes next from Nuno. He's thinking about it. He's thinking about the old sponsorship idea there, and I completely broke into wanting to applaud you and broke up any idea of a medley there. So sorry about that.
That's fine because the next one's because you put "Rocking Around the Christmas Tree" on the poster.
Yeah,
I've done a reggae version of "Rocking Down the Christmas Tree" for you. So
Emma, I'm not sure if you noticed, but when you started singing, Mark, who's obviously got his anus to the camera, I said, "Hallelujah, I'm cured." So
these tiles just fell off like on the ground. That's it, gone. Imagine that.
Oh no! Like, piles fell off like brass monkeys. I guess
it depends how cold it is.
Right.
Cute.
Yes.
I'm cute.
Mark, you know the right thing to do. PayPal.me/Emma Belter. Come on. Put your hand in your pocket. You've had some great service this morning, my friend. The very least you can do. All right. And everybody else, buy this lady a drink, please. Okay. And some sprouts as well. Put on your
Brussels sprout.
This is for your sprouts or whatever.
This is for my
you'll know
grapes.
When stop it now.
Carl, it's not even us doing ass jokes. It's Louisa is doing it too now.
Right.
Yeah, sorry, I'm a bit naughty.
Garvo, great music this morning, Emma. Hope you have a fabulous Christmas, Hen.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So I could do my high-pitched Scottish granny and my lower-pitched Scottish voice as well. All right.
That's like your drunk Uncle Jim. Here I hear it. Drunk Uncle Jimmy that winks at you and gives you a fiver. You know that one? He comes up to you, he doesn't speak. He just speaks and clicks and winks like.
Just sounds like drunk.
Gives you a fiver and then off he goes.
They obviously occur all over the world. These drunk uncles, don't they?
Drunkles.
Drunkles. The drunkles.
Drunkles.
Shout out to all the drunkles at Christmas time.
Yeah.
You know,
well,
you
they do
might get a fiver.
They do a real service, don't they?
They liven up things, don't they?
Yeah,
You've got a
the
dry. You've got your Christmas gathering, haven't you? It's a bit dry. It's about 12:30. People are starting to arrive for lunch. It's a bit awkward. No one's come out yet at the Christmas table. It's still at that early stage of Christmas lunch, and maybe the odd political statement has been made, and it's getting a little bit awkward. Then your drunkle turns
That's when
up.
drunkle or your drunk
And
granny.
and this is Frank. This is what Frank would do at any decent party, like gathering like this. How's everybody doing? And all the kids are like, "Oh, thank God for that, Uncle Frank is here finally."
And all the kids are climbing on
That's right, yeah. And it's what's
well,
that?
you've done a little bit of that for my nieces and
I
nephews.
certainly hope so. It's an uncle and probably an auntie's responsibility to do that. Fabulous. Just a quickie. Does anyone play Sprout Wars anymore?
What's that?
What's this? An
Christmas fart off.
After dividing the family is a great entertainment as long as no one is tempted to light a cigar. Thank you for that. So thank you for that public health warning there. And all
That's
sorts
quite
of
interesting.
levels.
I've played burp tennis. You know, like if you have too much fizzy Coke.
Yeah, burp tennis.
Yeah, so you sit opposite each other on a table and you kind of burp and serve,
Really?
and you score it like tennis.
I imagine you aced it. Literally.
Yeah, I was very good at it.
You killed
It's not very good.
The current champion, I suspect.
So you have to keep serving burps towards
The rallies
each other.
can be exhausting.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, you're very welcome, everybody. With extra fun.
I want to come to your house for Christmas. It sounds like a blast.
Bring Coke. Bring
Coke.
All right. Emma, over to you then. For your final.
Okay.
Christmas fart off sounds very doable as well.
Oh, Pete, thank you for that. You've made my Christmas. Emma,
You could make it more interesting by trying to fart things down, like putting pieces of paper or Christmas cards, and trying to actually knock them down with your farts or with your burp. Like, burp. See if you can get the card to travel.
This sounds like a whole new channel. We're
Or do
starting.
it you know that game where you write someone's name on a Rizzler paper? You have to fart in the style of the name on your forehead. That's whatever that game's called. Mark shouldn't try this though, because it could be too early.
Yeah,
Mark to be trying this game. Okay,
Mark might need to rest his bum a little bit first.
Okay, all right,
Brand new computers.
Go on. Ready?
Okay.
Okay, here we go. Rocking around the Christmas tree at the Christmas party hop. Mistletoe hung where you can see every couple tries to stop. Rocking around the Christmas tree, let the Christmas spirit ring. Later we'll have some pumpkin pie and we'll do some caroling. You will get a sentimental feeling when you hear voices singing, let's be jolly, deck the halls with boughs of holly, rocking around the Christmas tree, have a happy holiday. Everyone's dancing merrily in the new old-fashioned way. You will get a sentimental feeling when you hear voices singing, let's be jolly, deck the halls with boughs of holly, rocking around the Christmas tree, have a happy holiday. Everyone's farting merrily in the new old-fashioned way. Woo! Shit. You will get a sentimental feeling when you hear voices singing, let's be jolly, deck the halls with boughs of holly, rocking around the Christmas tree, have a happy holiday. Everyone's dance to merrily in the new old-fashioned way.
Incredible. And we know why Frank had to...
It's always a pleasure.
Oh, Emma, that was superb. Look at this. Be prepared when playing any of these games is the word coming in from Nuno. Oh, no, from Paul to Nuno, I think. Being an overweight uncle that likes a drink, I guess that would make me a chunky drunkle. I think that's true. There. Just stay away from the fire with those farts. Love the solo, Emma. That was very good.
Yeah, I love that.
And it may have launched the idea for a new Arse SMR channel. Stephen Wells, call me after the show. Antonio F turned up during that song and must have thought to himself, interesting, with the fart solo going on in there. And awesome, Emma from Pete. So thank you so much, Emma. Will you stick around with us for the rest of the show until 10 o'clock?
I think I can. I've just had a little thing come up on my phone saying that my device is overheating. So if I just all of a sudden disappear, it could be some technical issue with the phone. I don't know what's going on because it's not very warm here.
There are two reasons for that. One of them might be, I mean, I'm not surprised to hear that your device is overheating. You have set it alight, certainly this morning for us. So I thank you for that. And hopefully it's the PayPal. You've broken PayPal this morning. and all those incoming drinks are causing your device.
That would be magic. That would help a lot, I'll tell you.
Yeah, there you go. Powerful stuff from Deagle as well. And we missed a greeting from the doc earlier on, who was mentioned by Mark. I can't see where you... Oh, and I got this message as well. These apparently are for old DJs. You can get some defibrillator earphones. Plug's a bit dodgy, but it works sometimes. I'll put them in the post. That's a really good idea, isn't it?
That's great.
If you're struggling behind the microphone, just get a little zap. The doc is here and can attend to your medical ailments, possibly. I don't know, or maybe he's off at the moment in this Christmas period. Bon dia alegria del dia. Feliz Natal, todos. My parents are here for the last week and next week, and join Leona and myself in wishing you all.
Hey, Doc.
Oh, isn't that lovely?
That is lovely. So keep those coming in. Your Christmas greetings. This is our last live stream for the year. Emma's with us. Uncle Frank's with us. Emma is here as long as her device. Is it because the cat was lying on the laptop as well?
I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. No idea. We'll see. It might just carry on. I've turned the heater off in the caravan, so maybe they just take the temperature down a little bit and we'll be all right. I'll blow on it.
That's some really good energy multitasking there. Save a few bob on the heating and just get the laptop nice and warm. Merry Christmas, Emma. We loved your songs. And
Thank you very much.
From OLP. This is some fresh baking. We've all been baking in some way this morning, and this is OLP's lovely gift from Oregon there. Thank you very much for that. As well. Yes, loved your songs. And I think we've got Jean. Good morning to you as well, Jean, this morning. And Gianni from Belgium as well. Bosch Festisch. So let us know what you're up to for this Christmas. How are you celebrating, everybody? Some people want a really quiet one this year, and I can't blame them. I met a Norwegian fella, you know, the Norwegian artist, Mr. Anderson. And I thought to myself, this was great how he handled it as well. I said to him, look, are you here for Christmas? And he said, yeah. And I was thinking, poor guy from Norway, stranded Viking in this part of Europe, Southern Europe. You must come round for lunch. Don't be alone. And he said, no, it's okay, thanks. I'm walking in the mountains. That sounds all right, doesn't it?
What a dude.
But what a dude he is. Marion Hartshorn, Merry Christmas. Well done, Emma, from your friend.
Thank you, Marion.
Marion, I think, as well there.
Did you read out Deagle saying Emma is hot?
There you go.
There you go. That's why
Emma gets a proposal.
And
Emma is hot. It's not me that's hot. It's the phone. It's the phone that's hot. Emma's freezing. Like my fingers are cold and everything. Actually,
we don't want to hear that.
Does not know how to take a compliment.
Well, yes, I think it's group hug, and yes, you are hot,
definitely,
Emma.
definitely.
We all agree with Deagle there, but just don't fart on your device, Emma, because that's not. Well, it depends. It's all a matter of personal taste, there, isn't it? So yeah, folks,
do the guitar. That would be all right if I was partying and it was playing. It was in tune. It would be like an extra instrument, wouldn't it?
I think that YouTube channel would have a lot of subscribers. Quite frankly, a nice little niche there. With that particular style of playing the guitar,
quite
Jimi Hendrix to
quite
shame.
A dark one.
Yeah, definitely.
Talking of buttholes and stuff. It's the new moon today.
Hey, I like that. Was a real
There is a new
segue
moon
to that there. That was beautifully done.
It was beautifully done. Are you an astrologer, by any chance?
Yeah. Did I
Who
tell you
speaks
that
of
already?
Bali?
Yeah.
The Bali-based astrologer, Mrs. M. So what does it mean for us that we've got a new moon so
Well,
close
this,
to
this,
Christmas?
tell us.
this whole week's had a lot of new stuff happening, like Jupiter changing signs on Tuesday. Then we had the solstice, which is like, you know, the new sun into the sign of Capricorn. And today we've got the new moon, which is the moon and the sun together in the sign of Capricorn. And so I just think, I mean, it's all about new starts, you know, and sort of like a fresh energy. We're going into a new growth period. But like, given that Jupiter's just changed signs, we've just had the solstice, it's the mother of all new focus points.
Is it?
Yeah. And
So
it's
does that mean that everything's feminine energy focused then? Is that like now it's like we're all getting in touch with our feminine energy?
Do you know what? I'm not sure. I'm not sure I'd describe it quite as feminine energy, but it could be. But what I do think is we're all going a bit internal.
Come on, then, girl.
We're all going a bit internal. I mean, these two men here are very happy in their femininity, aren't they? Yeah. But I do. Yeah, maybe we should, like, it's like we're all going internal, which, you know, is again with the arse.
We're disappearing up our own arses.
Yeah,
it could be that, couldn't it? It could be a little bit too introspective.
Yeah, but I mean, actually, this really is a time to go inside and deal with our metaphorical shit.
That's what I will
and
be
then
saying
let it
to
go.
you later on today.
So this is all about getting a clearing, a big clearing, and moving forwards. Things will start hotting up towards the end of January. We've got
in
like
what way? What do you mean?
Well, we've got Mercury
World
going retrograde next week.
Right.
Before
Okay.
the new year, and we've got Mars retrograde as well. But by the 18th,
just what we need.
By the 18th of January, we're on our new track again.
Okay.
So I think we're going into a bit of a quieter time, actually, and it's funny that, like, you know, Carl, you've mentioned, you know, like people are dropping like flies, or, you know, they're not, like, lots of people are having these like quiet Christmases.
Yes,
I think it's actually part of the times, you know,
the best of times, the worst of times.
We're kind of going a little bit deep inside.
Wowzers. Okay, all right, stop saying that now.
But
okay,
it's okay. It's okay. There's stuff coming up, and it's okay. This is our time to actually really celebrate who we are.
There we go. That's what I mean about the best of times and the worst of times. Whilst a few people are poorly, and it looks to me like, you know, this is worse than the pandemic in so many ways, in terms of how many people are poorly and disappearing. We also have the most amazing spiritual, mental, emotional technologies available to us, don't we? Wherever you look, there are people suggesting how you might reconfigure your heart and mind right now as well.
I shared something on my timeline this morning. This guy, I don't know if my phone is going to pick it up right now, but there was this guy on Twitter. I can't remember his name. I'm going to see if I can get it. But
all right, while you're doing that,
he said he'd traveled, like, he'd meditated with the most badass Buddhist in the world, and he had, like, say 3 or 4 hours sleep a night, and for 5 months I think he just meditated every day, and he shared his learnings, and I was like, wow, these are really, really good. This guy called Corey Mascara,
right? That's a great name.
Yes.
The last name Mascara. He's going places, this guy.
He is, isn't he? That is a showbiz
and
name.
he shared 31 tips, and it's on my timeline, but there's some really, really great ones.
Go on, give us one.
I'm going to quick look. Okay. You don't find your ground by looking for stability.
Ooh.
You find your ground by relaxing into instability.
My goodness.
Pretty profound,
right?
Do you know something? That's really profound, because recently I've got a lot of friends who are, like, you know, who are into kind of, like, I don't like the word conspiracy theories, but they're always thinking, like, you know, and what consuming things, and I actually start to think maybe that whole thing is all connected, because actually when you go into yourself and you quiet yourself, that sense of peace that you find is fundamental, isn't it? You don't really find that externally. And, like, actually what you've been saying about going into yourself, and I kind of stopped feeding myself with the exterior stuff. Like, you know, one morning someone's going on about chemtrails, the next thing they're going on about vaccinating. It's all kind of the same. If you hold on to that, it gives you a sense of stress and fear, doesn't it, and anxiety, no matter what.
Yeah.
So actually, so when you focus more inwardly, and maybe I actually practice EFT. I meditate, but I also do EFT really regularly. I've got a friend, and it just puts your brain and your metabolism in the state of being neutral, so you don't feel like you need stimulation from outside. You're kind of just quite happy to be present. And then I'm like, then I want to play guitar, or I want to play with my dogs. I want to be around things or do things that keep you in that state of presence rather than, you know, consuming things that make you feel anxious, and even like watching some stuff on Netflix that doesn't really give you a good feeling. It's like I'm attracted to things that make me feel calm rather than things that antagonize stress. So I think that's maybe that's kind of what you're talking about as well, Louisa, isn't it? It's like that way of, the more you go inside, the more you realize you're actually quite a peaceful person.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is the bone of contention that happens between Carl and I, because I kind of go between the two. You know, I go, oh, look at those bloody chemtrails. Oh, my God. And then I go, oh, you know what? It's quite nice inside here. And then I go inside myself. But then it doesn't take long for me to go, get back inside myself. So
all
I'm
that
kind
mold.
of, so I'm always inside, outside. But Carl, you're very inside, aren't you?
I just think it's amazing what Emma just said.
It's beautiful what
I
you just said.
I was going to ask people about resolutions, because I think resolutions are rubbish. But there's something about them that people do want to have some guiding light for the new year. And resolutions clearly don't work that well, given the amount of decades many of us have been practicing them. And they kind of set you up for failure, don't they? However, living in possibility, asking questions, moving into expansion. And I think that's along the same lines as you're talking about, Emma. You know, what's possible here? How could this be better, greater, more fun? Opens things out, as well as going inside. It opens out on the outside as well, doesn't it? And I totally agree with you. As I think, as partial as I am to a little bit of a conspiracy theory or some other, you know, revolutionary or whatever strange form of thinking, concepts and ideas. I don't feel good after delving into all of that, and it's a bad habit. It's like it's akin to smoking. It's an immediate sort of relief in some way to think, I'm not the only one who thinks the world might not be as it seems. You get that hit, don't you?
Yeah.
As a conspiracy theorist, but it can soon turn very dark and very unnourishing and unhelpful, I think, basically. So I love what you're saying. Not only fantastic singing and entertainment for us this morning, but some penetrating insight as well there.
Yeah. Talking of penetration, are you guys ready for
what?
A little bit more from Corey Mascara?
Yes, we are ready for some Franks. Uncle Frank. I think we've even managed to embarrass Uncle Frank. That takes some doing. That takes some doing. Yeah.
Okay, this is kind of
Corey Mascara. Come on.
Okay, this is slightly.
Come on, Mr. Mascara.
Okay. The moment before letting go is often when we grip the hardest.
Is this farting again?
I picked the one that sounded most.
This has got so much going on. Nice one. It's got so much going for it.
Go is often when we grip the hardest. So, like, you know, we're all, you know, like when we're having a dark night of the soul. That's, you know, when we're absolutely
holding on.
Yeah, holding on.
Really, like, that's kind of similar to the one about meditation, isn't it? They say that when you feel like you can't meditate is when you should meditate, and that's so true, isn't it? Because you have that fight in your own brain, like, I've not got time to meditate. And if you just take 10 minutes and do it, then all of a sudden everything just comes down, and you actually don't feel so overwhelmed because you've taken 10 minutes to just get out of your head, isn't it? So, like, when you hold on really tight, that feeling of holding on creates so much tension and can put you in a state of fight or flight, isn't it? When you want to kind of like fight everyone or run away, like
so true. Yeah. And I think part of the challenge of letting go is that when we're up against it, that's the time you tend to hold on to what you know.
Yeah.
Because these all your personality traits and conditioning that have kept you together are the obvious things you might reach for when you're falling apart. And you know, I see that it's quite useful to create spaces in which you can fall apart and not hold on to those old things, which clearly don't serve us necessarily. Our old habits have got us to where we've got, right? So we might want some new ones, but finding them, being in a safe space to put them into practice, I think is, you know, creating a safe context is, and I hope we do that here.
Yeah, frankly. I hope so. Are you ready? Time for one more?
Yes, absolutely.
This one I really like.
Mr. Mascara.
I think Mr. Mascara is this could divide the room a little bit. Not our room. I think we'll probably all go, oh yeah. Who you are is not your fault, but it is your responsibility.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Well, I can't argue with that. Not in this frame of mind, anyway. I'll argue with it later on when I'm not feeling so great, but not right now. Yeah.
But anyway, there's 31 of them. maybe I'll share them with you to put
I
on.
can't wait for you to say that to me the next argument we have.
Here's
That's
one.
the blue touch paper, isn't it?
Here's one. Monks love to fart while they meditate. The wisdom of letting go is expressed in many forms.
Isn't
There
that
you go.
wonderful?
That's number
That's wonderful.
Managed to turn all of this into a spiritual insight. Now, this, I don't know if this relates to monks. Nobody wants to see an old moon. We prefer a new moon. New moon. Time for a romp through the woods, lol, from Garvo. And I was apologizing, I think only yesterday, Garvo, for creating that image of you running naked through the woods. I do feel bad about that.
Don't we have a picture of Garvo running naked through the woods and actually hugging and kissing the trees like naked?
Well,
we do have a picture.
That sounds beautiful and freeing,
Yeah,
doesn't
no,
it?
he's very much with nature, Garv. He does that with the ground as well. He'll put a hole in there, and he's very good. This guy.
Yeah, for a fertility ritual, I think.
Yes,
For
fertility
his-
ritual. Come on, Emma.
He'll pop his little joss stick in there, and
You're no prude, Emma. Come on, you know what that means, holding the ground. You know what he's doing.
summon up the energies. But actually, none of this is true. That's why I feel so bad about starting.
because he just made up that rumor just for a bit of a crack.
It's
didn't you?
run and run, just
Yeah.
like Garvo through the woods.
In fact, we've actually got pictures of Carl running naked.
It was
through.
me all the time.
Yeah, he was the
It
creepy
was
chap.
you.
We took the hood off, and it the Scooby Goo.
Scooby Goo. There was no Scooby Goo involved. No Scooby Goo.
The Scooby Doo gang. At the end of the show, we take off. We find out it was Carl all along.
I love running around naked.
Oh, wonderful. Oh,
Yeah.
The best challenge would be if you can make someone run around that Intermarché naked, the parking lot of that Intermarché, getting right off the bus.
That lovely place.
Carl would
That lovely
totally do that.
You would totally do it. Oh, I would totally do it. It's
Yeah.
not a
It's all
problem.
about timing, isn't it? You need context, I think, don't you? It is so
Carl
strange.
actually quite likes like stripping off and going.
Oh yeah. Dun,
You
dun,
did with the
dun, dun,
Celia,
dun.
didn't you?
Celia de Porto. Yeah, I wasn't quite naked.
No,
but
you're wearing
I had my boots on still.
your boots.
Okay,
Oh,
so
okay.
strange that we have lived through an era where farts are perfectly acceptable and a cough can clear a building. Progress, yes, but never try the two together. Don't do the same.
Do you know what, Pete? One of the things about these strange times is where I've been doing Zoom calls with people coaching. I have somebody who regularly, like while we're in a session, will mute the mic
And you know what they're doing.
and then unmute the mic.
Can you do it for us now? Like,
I can't just squeeze the cheese.
No,
but-
I don't mean to actually do it. I just
No.
mean do the face they do. Do the face they do. And then we'll give you a full screen for this.
Okay.
oh, what?
So I'll talk to you as we're counselling.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm glad to hear you've had quite a nice week this week, and we'll set our goals for next week. Is there anything? You okay? Everything okay
Yeah,
there?
yeah. The goals will be great. Thanks.
Okay. Yes. That was really good.
So we're actually in the times where people are like muting their farts. I love it.
And
It's great.
But I would have.
But I never say anything. I'm not like, are you okay?
I would hope that intimacy and authenticity. We don't need to mute anymore. That's the next step, isn't it?
I've had this with a few people on,
Right.
so I think maybe people are eating more wholesomely at the moment whilst they're at home.
That's one way of putting it. We are finally in Penamacourt. Oh, great news, Yanni. Beautiful song, Emma. And the OLP saying to you, Emma, loved you and your son last year singing it together. It's becoming an establishment, isn't it? An institution, the sing song at Christmas. And don't forget, folks, we do have Emma's PayPal to send drinks to. Christmas drink for Emma at paypal.me/Emma Belter. So thank you very much, OLP, and for Gianni and Antonio F. A great bon dia for Carl, Louisa Frank, and Emma as well. Last but certainly not least. Oh yes, Garvo, this picture in our imaginations. There are no actual pictures, Frank, to answer your question. These live in our imagination.
I don't know. Maybe Gary will do like a calendar or
the man
something.
cave.
We
Man cave
should.
calendar.
Yeah.
We did talk about a calendar, like Gary, having like different poses with different kind of trees of like different construct.
You would
And,
do that,
like,
wouldn't you?
Oh yeah, like doing
Yeah.
doing like very lovey-dovey kind of things with the trees.
What's the man cave? Is that a show? Another show you do?
Yes.
Oh,
It
We used
started.
to. Well, it's still on. It's still on.
It's still on. It's not as good as it used to be, obviously. But when
I'm sure
when
it
me,
is.
When me, Frank, and
Really
Garbo
is.
were, it's just a bit of a male banter there and competitiveness, which is the spirit of the man cave. And it happens. Fellas can let off a bit of steam, have a drink, and talk nonsense every Friday night under the leadership of Lord Gilchrist. Yeah, it's a fantastic thing that they do for sure. And what is this, Pete? There's such a thing as a splinter apron. That's a good idea, isn't it? It's a bit like how naturists always have a towel, don't they, just in case. Paul Richards, Merry Christmas to all. Let's hope 2023 brings peace to everyone, no matter wherever you are. Absolutely,
Yeah.
Paul. Beautiful
It's a
sentiment.
lovely message.
Yeah. Moaz, you are our Advent centerfold as of yesterday. If people want to see that, go to the calendar. And
Are
see
we not going to have a look at the
I'm not sure
content?
we'll have time. And keep them coming because we will keep publishing those until Christmas Eve. Feliz Natal, Carl, y Luisa, y Frank, y Emma. Thank you, Moaz, so much. Feliz Natal, meus amigos. Loving this. Are you still playing live with your son in Portugal, Emma, from OLP?
Not until March. Josh is not here in Portugal at the moment. He's off in Spain building houses out of clay, hobbit houses, Isabella.
Oh,
He loves to
wow.
put with his band. So yeah, he's away doing that for winter to get a bit of respite. And also we're practicing so we can put a whole new set of songs together for the next year, because you get bored playing the same songs, week after week. So the two of us are independently rehearsing to get back together in March to play again for the season. So yeah, we'll be playing together next season, which is I have to say while I get the chance, which is a complete honor for me as a mum and the 27-year-old son, my only child, he wants to play music with me. Like, I feel really honored about that. He's like, Mum, I'll see you next year. I'll definitely be back for gigs. It is really like it does give me a lovely feeling in my heart that he wants to make music with his mum.
I think it's beautiful.
Yeah, I'm really chuffed, and it's quite a unique and unusual kind of combination. Like, if you think about it, there's not a lot of mum and son duos, like even famous ones. It's really rare. So yeah, it's a nice thing to be able to do anyway for me. Like, it does give me a nice warm feeling inside.
I think that's given everyone a warm feeling.
And Frank, are you thinking what I'm thinking? Frank and I talk about our mums quite a lot, and we have Asian,
you guys couldn't work with your mums,
we've got Asian mums who have they're not lovely, warm, cuddly Scottish mums. No disrespect to either of them. They're a bit different, aren't they, Frank? And I can't imagine either of us doing a duet with our mothers.
You get smacked around. Violence is the answer.
Also, when your mum put the message on to say, "Oh, that was lovely, Emma, well done," or something really nice, and Carl started crying. I think that's because he knows that would never happen from his mum, and I did actually think, no, I'm sorry, and I did think, oh, poor Frank and Carl, they don't get that. I mean, I get a bit of that from my mum. That was so lovely how your mum showed up to support you on the show.
Yes, isn't that lovely?
Yeah, that is actually, that's a good point. I'll have to say thank you to her for that afterwards. Give her a virtual hug.
But like, your mum wouldn't say, she might say well done, but don't get a big head.
Yeah, exactly.
Something like that.
And your mum would as well, probably, Frank.
Precisely.
Right? That's not a bad show you do, but don't get carried away.
Yeah.
The kind of thing where, like, hey, listen, it won't fit through that door, So take it easy.
That's what your mum would say.
Exactly. Give you room for some capacity for improvement. Right. Look.
No, I love the fact that you and Josh do that. I think that's really inspiring.
Yes. Sorry, Scooby-Goo quote comments. The Sasquatch has been sighted in Algarve. That's Carlo. I love that.
Carlo,
Don't
bless
let me
you.
forget the dad jokes. We'll finish on those. Stephen, I think we're talking about resolutions here. Have desires, outcomes rather than New Year's resolutions. Nice one, Stephen. I want to be fitter rather than I'll go to the gym every day. I.e. a goal, not the actions to get there. The actions can change, the goal stays. Nice one, Stephen. Perfect. Yeah. Well said. Garvo's considering the idea, I think, of a bit of naked tree hugging. Only hug the side with the moss. Okay.
Nice one, Garvo.
That is fantastic. Is this a euphemism? Nunu, maybe, and Antonio could possibly answer this. And João Ferreira is here as well. Ferreira, do Portuguese people decorate the front of their homes? Is that a euphemism or is that actually a genuine question, I wonder?
I think it's a genuine question.
It's a genuine question, isn't it?
Oh, they don't, do they?
Do you know what? I haven't seen that many decorations
No.
up. Like,
No,
when
it's
we,
neither.
I think it has
The
been
bloody
muted.
propaganda, the energy propaganda has got to everybody, hasn't it? Not to
Yeah,
put their lights
maybe.
on. Just put your lights on, everybody. Hello.
Like, people just aren't doing it this year. Like, we've driven around.
I hope
and-
that's not the case.
But like normally when we drive around, the decks go up sort of like November time.
I'm sorry.
And they're still there after Christmas, like way after Christmas.
Us being in darkness is not a great sign to Ukrainians. Like putting the lights on and saying love and peace and joy at Christmas time around the world for everybody. Put the bloody lights on is what I would say. And
Wait a minute, I've got it, Carol. Maybe we should just shine our internal light even brighter.
Oh, there you go.
definitely
Let it shine,
right.
and then we bend over, and then the light
I was thinking that is
like a
the
laser light.
Sunglasses on, everybody. It's like those early atomic bomb test movies, isn't it? Like everyone's standing there. Why are you putting your sunglasses on? Because there's about to be a solar flare coming from Portugal. Any minute. I can hear belts being unbuckled right now. We're reframing lots of fantastic stuff. If you have got COVID and you can't smell, just eat lots of bacalhau. Really strong flavors in the bacalhau and the cabbage and the potato on Christmas Eve. So look on the bright side. Nice one, Pete, there. Joao F. So glad you could make it. I'm late, however. I could not miss the opportunity to wish everyone a Merry Christmas. This, I assure you, is heartfelt. We do not question that for one moment. Certainly feeling that.
Obrigado, John.
Chrissy in Melbourne. Have a safe and happy one. Lovely. Thank you, Chrissy in Melbourne. And the Man Cave is on the Portugalist channel. You are invited, even though he's got the man flu tonight. Boys, we're expecting you. Emma, are you ever going to do?
Mess. That sounds good.
How about this? A Portugal tour? Have you thought about that, Emma? I mean, people, I think, would love to see you around the country as well. It'd be great to see you sing live in the deepest, darkest depths of central Portugal. So, could we do a fan-based tour where people invite you and put you up and find a venue?
I would love that.
Would you be
I
open?
would love that. Honestly, that would be magic.
Yeah, okay. So you know what to do, everybody. And what would we do?
Like Tamar, Coimbra.
You stay at a fan's house, they feed you, and they find a venue, and you rock up at the venue and do your thing.
And get paid.
That would be amazing. I would love that.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yep. All right, let's do that in the new year. My mum used to sing like a cat in a spin dryer. No chance of a duet there, I think. Oh, and thank you, Maria Williamson. Hey, Maria, a hug for me as well. Oh, she heard that, didn't she? Oh, a Scottish mum hug. Yeah. I think, I'd love that. Thank you so much, Maria. Bless you. Yeah, the other mums were hearing that, weren't they? What is it with these Eastern mums and their distance? Come on, get in there.
Any mum with a son, you know, like when you hear
it's
that,
different.
like,
it's different.
You know, some men grow up without a huggy mum. All those mums that have got sons, they remember their little boys getting hurt and they just want to put their arms around.
It's not done me and look at me and Frank. It's not done us any harm. Despite being desperately ill.
You guys are doing well, yeah.
Oh, he's got a knackered
You've got a lovely wife as well, a lovely family.
Yes, absolutely. Nature abhors a vacuum. I got the hugs, don't worry. Emma, you are welcome here. There you go. First booking. Free accommodation.
Where's that?
That is in Fundão, central Portugal. Castelo Branco region. So there we go. First booking. I think we should hire Emma for a company as well. Second booking, and great idea as usual, Garvo. Could you combine it with a naked wood walk? Who doesn't like a bit of naked wood first thing in the morning? Oh, let us go out with the T-Ducks dad jokes. Thank you so much, T-Duck, for all your fantastic service.
Wouldn't it be amazing? Wouldn't it be amazing? Like Garvo is like Jesus, like walking right up front naked, and all his followers right behind, like going with him. And
did Jesus walk naked?
No, in this one,
this Jesus in El Viagra could. So, like, you know, we could have him like walking right up front, and like as he's like touching and feeling out the trees. Picture it, Carl.
I was picturing it, Frank, and I was.
Yeah, I'm picturing that.
It was a roller coaster ride of emotions. I've got to tell you. Yes, you're welcome, everybody. Thank you, Frank. All right, we will conclude here. Thank you so much, Emma, for being here this morning.
Yeah.
It's been wonderful. Thanks for having me.
Well, it's always fantastic when you're here. And someone was asking about the performance last year, which you can find on Expats Portugal's YouTube channel as well. So these are all kept, and you can watch and enjoy them again. And of course, don't forget, I will leave your PayPal address up on there. People can get in touch with you regarding bookings around the country. On Facebook, it's probably the best place to find you, right? Emma Belter Williamson on Facebook.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's go off with a giggle. Thank you to Frank for your wonderful service and insight this year, and we'll see more of you next year. Not in a Garvo kind of way, more of you, but on the screen there.
We could do a naked show one day, maybe.
I've already done a naked show.
know.
I'm way ahead of you there. I lost my girlfriend's audiobook, and now I'll never hear the end of it. Yay!
That's very good.
I childproof my house, but somehow they keep getting back in. I think
good.
you're getting back in.
I like this.
There you go. And a nice seasonal one to finish with. What do you call Santa's helpers? Subordinate clauses.
It's okay.
Very good. Now, I've got a little bit of a last-minute message. We have started a group, Google Groups. I didn't even know about that. But on our website, I have now put up a... let me see if I can bring it onto the screen. If you feel like you want to reach out to anybody during... And I know this doesn't look very welcoming at the moment. There's nothing on there. But our GMP discussions there are, it's like a little bit of a forum, basically. So I'll go to Google Groups and you can see that. And there they are. Keep in touch during the holidays 2022, if I click on that. And you can go there and you're not seeing that, are you? Why is that not refreshed? Anyway. GMP discussions under the Gumper tab. If you need to reach out, if you just want to talk and chat with somebody, if you're feeling a bit lonely at Christmas, that's a way of doing it. Of course, the Expats Portugal forum as well. Please don't be alone. You've got Gumper friends in this community. So if you need to reach out.
Yeah.
Don't hesitate to do that. And we will see you on Monday, the 2nd of January, won't we, Mrs. M? And we'll have a few releases during the
I don't think
period.
it'll be a long one though, because it's Minnie's birthday. So
another birthday.
It'll be the last birthday of our family birthday season.
Of the family birthday season there. So I will put the last remaining comments up on the screen because they're flooding in.
And can we also leave with the advent calendar in the background? At the end. After the credits.
Play all of them.
Well, at least the last two.
Okay, I will do my best to find those. To She Who Must Be Obeyed. I think that's a very good idea.
Well, people have sent in their videos. They should be admired, I think.
Quite right, too. Well done. Okay, so yes, he's not the Messiah. He's a very naughty boy, as seen running naked around Algarve. So one more time, Frank, thank you so much. Mrs. M, thank you so much. And welcome. Emma, thank you so much for performing.
Carl.
Have an amazing Christmas. Lovely. Nice to see you all. Take care,
everyone. Ciao, and bye for now. There they go. There goes Emma and a lovely cat, and Maria, mum as well. So I've got a little bit of work to do bringing all of these to you. I'm going to play the standard outro. What?
Thank you as well.
Oh, thank me as well.
No, yes. Like this show, and looks like we're looking in different directions. Again. Look, because our photos are around the wrong way.
We are talking to
We're
each
actually
other.
looking at each other. But you get up every morning. If it wasn't for this show, you wouldn't get up until like midday, probably.
It's so true. It's so true. And then I'd run around naked around a village or into Marche car.
You'd get into all sorts of mischief. This keeps you out of trouble, and it keeps you kind of functional, doesn't it? Yes. And for that, I'm truly grateful.
Yes,
well done.
Thank you, everybody, for that. So I think, as Moaz is requesting, we will play your Christmas video, Moaz, as our exit today, as our tapering off of the show. So that's just loading up now, and I'll feature as many greetings as I can onto the screen as well. So, folks, have a fantastic Christmas. Boas Festas, Feliz Natal. And watch out for our videos between now and the new year. And we'll see you for a Prospero Ano Novo. Take care and bye for now. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, ciao.
Portugal. There's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to know. Carl rings the bell and the members show to the GMP morning show. Featured guests will come and they will blow your mind. The audience will do so in kind. The little vanity mixed with some insanity on the morning show with GMP.
Good morning, Portugal, and I'd like to welcome you to another fantastic day.
Hey, Gumpers.